Hi, this is Sherry with the Hewald and Riley team, and today, as promised, we have our friend Mike Hesterberg back with Building Inspections LLC. And today's topic that we're going to talk to Mike about is radon. So Mike, let's just kind of jump right in. What is radon?
Radon is a naturally occurring radioactive gas that comes from the decay of uranium in the soil and thorium in the rock, and it comes up to the soil and it gets trapped in our houses.
Okay. A lot of people that we talk to, they always ask, is radon a real health concern?
And yes, it is. It is. We now know it's the #1 cause of cancer in non-smokers, and smokers actually are at risk 4 times higher than non-smokers.
Okay. Now, a lot of people, it's clearless, it's odorless. So some people say, how do you test for it? And that's why we have this fun little box here today. So tell me how the testing goes for radon.
It's very simple. There are several medias that can be used for this. We happen to bring one type today. It's called an e-perm. Okay, there are continuous radon monitors, and then there's charcoal. People have heard about. Okay, but very simple. They all do somewhat of the same thing, and we place it in the house for a minimum of 48 hours. Okay, and then we take it back to our lab, and then the lab analyzes it to determine if in fact you have radon. Okay. And very simply, as we set these in the home, we open these up like this. Radon, or the air, goes into these devices, and it reads the amount of radon gas that's in the home.
Okay. Is there anything that a seller should do to prepare for a radon test?
Yes. You have to have closed house conditions, which very simply is defined that all the windows must be closed and the doors must be closed. You have to have that house under those conditions for 48 hours.
For 48 hours, okay.
And 12 hours before the test.
Okay.
So the air creates equilibrium.
So 12 hours prior to the test and the whole 48 hours during the test.
That is correct.
So if there is radon in a home, and is there ever a reading that ever says 0 radon?
No. 0 radon is just our natural. The minimum outside in the street, standing in the middle, is 0.4 picocuries average across the country, and the average indoors 1.4 picocuries per liter. So you never achieve 0.
Okay.
Okay. So the idea is there's no radon in a home. That's really not true. It just we live with that in our environment.
Okay. So if someone has a higher reading of radon, and at what level should a seller or a person consider putting a mitigation system in the home to remove that? How does that work?
Well, the EPA is very clear. It states that if you're 2.0 picocuries to 3.9, it is recommended you mitigate. If you're above 3.9, basically 4.0 and above, it's highly recommended that you mitigate.
Okay.
And mitigation companies can be called out, and they install basically a system. It's very simple, but it creates a change in pressure underneath the slab of the house and brings the radon levels down to as low as we can get those homes. But it's very fixable. Keep in mind, it is a fixable condition, and once it's fixed, you're in good shape.
Okay, great. If you have any additional questions about radon, please feel free to give Mike a call at, and what's your number?
We're at 793-4677.
And if you have any additional questions about this that we can refer you to Mike, or about the real estate market in general, give the Hewald and Riley team a call at 513-310-5828.